Hi guys, I'm having one of those days. This is like the fourth time I'm trying to film this. I'm gonna try to get through a vinyasa flow. Been having issues in terms of the space that I have today. You know, David's downstairs in the space that I like to film in, and so I'm back upstairs in the small room where we have just a bunch of storage. And as I was filming before, just had an interruption with the phone. So I'm hoping to get through this one and do something like a 35-minute flow. Let go of a little bit of the frustration that I'm feeling, but I feel like it's important to be honest and just let you know that this is the fourth take, so I'm really trying to get stuff to you guys. So we'll move through, we'll get a little bit through the body, and kind of starting standing and might just end sitting down today. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a full shavasana, just kind of changing things up a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and come to the mat, and I am front facing today simply because of the space allotment, and I kind of want to be able to kind of spread out a little bit in this direction. So drawing the shoulders back, I want you to notice that your toes are in line with one another. You're relaxing your arms on either side of your body and you're dropping your shoulders. Really pull your belly in and just rock a little bit back and forth. Good, now as you're ready, you can go ahead and close your eyes. Just relax your arms. So in mountain pose, palms can face out or they can face in. I want you to just rock back and forth on your feet, maybe going from the toes, balls of the feet, back to the heels. Toes, balls of the feet, back to the heels. And again, toes, balls of the feet, back to the heels. Now let's go a little bit to the left and shift a little bit to the right. And again, shift a little bit left and a little bit right. And one more time, a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. Coming back to center. Let's relax the shoulders. With your eyes closed, start to feel your entire body. Noticing your breath. And releasing and relaxing any tension that you may be experiencing in your body. Transitioning your breath to Ujjayi Pranayama, so taking a subtle contraction of the back of the throat and breathing in through your nose and out through your nose with your throat contracted. So for those of you who don't know, you have closed your epiglottis like you're about to make a hissing sound, and you're breathing with this hissing sound internally. The breath will slow down and deepen. And we're going to use this breath throughout the practice. So I'm thinking in beginner, intermediate practice, just a vinyasa, some of your standards, triangle pose, warrior one, warrior two, some lunges. On your next in-breath, allow your arms to slowly rise up, spiral your triceps inward, connect your palms and pinkies overhead, and then exhale, hands in prayer at center. Good, again, inhale, slowly sweep your arms up, spiral your triceps inward, connect the palms and pinkies overhead, exhale, hands in prayer at center. And one more time, inhale, slowly sweeping your arms up, spiraling your triceps inward, connect the palms and pinkies overhead, exhale, hands in prayer at center. Let's release the hands down on either side of the body. Now we're going to go ahead, shift the weight back into the heels, lift your toes up for a moment, pull your belly in, really engage. Let the tailbone lower down a little bit. Now we're going to inhale, lift up onto the balls of the feet. Really engage the abdominals. And then exhale, sink your heels once again. Let's do that again. Inhale up onto the balls of the feet. Look good to do some footwork. And then exhale, lower. Let's do that one more time. Inhale up. And then exhale back down. Good, now let's shift that weight back into the heels. Lift the toes up. Sweep the arms and shift your seat back like you're sitting in a chair. Bring your hands to prayer. Track the knees in line with the hip points and keep drawing your shoulders back and down. Press the palms actively together. It's going to give you a little bit of assistance with your balance. So you're in chair pose, elongating the spine, sending your seat back, pulling your belly button in and up. Now I'm going to exhale and shift my arms back to frame my hips, and I'm going to actually imagine that I'm squeezing my arms to hug my hips. Draw your shoulders back, lengthen your spine, keep shifting the weight back into the heels, lifting the toes up and fanning them out. Breathe, building up a little bit of heat into the legs here. Now, those of you who'd like to can reach your arms forward. So this is a lot for my back. I have a couple of lumbar herniations from a car accident 7 years ago or so. So I don't tend to stay here very long. I tend to reach my arms back or go to prayer and do whatever works for you. I want you to be here another few breaths, in through the nose and out through the nose, feeling the quadriceps kind of warm up. Notice how the body shifts. Then we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up, come up, stand up, and then exhale, soften the knees, hinge from your hips and slowly fold. Now I want you to stop at that halfway point and reach your arms back here. Palms are going to turn up, soften the knees, sink into the heels, and then exhale, hinge and fold using control. Hands down toward or to the ground. Remember, if you need to bring the ground up to you, just use some blocks on either side of the body, or if you don't have blocks, hands to the shins. I just prefer you close the circuit. Now let's inhale the spine halfway up, hands to shins. Shoulders are back, seat is back, belly is in, chest is forward. I'm going to turn for a moment. You can see that I'm pulling my abdominals in and lengthening my spine. All right, notice my mid back is nice and straight. I'm not rounding, I'm lengthening. Good. So then from here, you're going to once again hinge from the hips and fold, trying to draw your chest towards your thighs. And I'm going to keep my fingertips to the mat right now. And I want you to just go ahead and bend your left knee without locking the right knee out. Good, and then switch. Good, and switch. Try to avoid locking out the straight knee, and switch, or the straight leg, and switch. Good, one more time, switch, and straighten both legs out. Now we're going to once again inhale the spine halfway up, hands to shins. And when you hinge and fold, I'd like you to hinge and fold over to your right. So we're going to exhale, hinge and fold to the right, hands to the outside of the right foot. Draw your left hip back, look over your right shoulder, and feel a little bit of a stretch along the IT band. Those of you who'd like to can even take your right hand to the small of the back. Keep drawing the left hip back and rotating your left rib cage to the right. Good. Then inhale, hands to shins, spine halfway up. And then we'll exhale, hinge and fold to the left, hands to the outside of the left foot, draw the right hip back. Feel a stretch along the IT band. Rotating the right rib cage to the left, maybe take your left hand to the small of the back and look over the shoulder. Find your breath. Good, then exhale, return back to center and inhale, spine halfway up one more time. Good, exhale and fold. Plant the palms and let's walk the feet back to downward facing dog or upside down V. So you're going to send your seat back and up in the chest toward the thighs. Notice that I spread my fingers out wide. I'm really rooting down to the thumb, pointer, and pinky fingers as well as the inner and outer edges of the palms of the hands. Notice I try to do like a ski slope effect out of my spine and I draw my shoulders back. I'm sending my chest toward my thighs. I'm looking back at my feet. My feet are hip width and parallel, and just nod your head no a couple times. Shake out your head and neck. Keep sending the tailbone up like you're migrating it up toward the ceiling where the wall and the ceiling meet. And now we're going to inhale, lift up onto the balls of the feet, and exhale, sink the heels. Keep looking back at your feet. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink the heels one more time. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, lower your heels. Now we're going to inhale, rock forward to a plank. I want you to put the shoulders directly over the wrists. Pull your belly in. Breathe. Lengthen your spine. Now we're going to rock forward to the tippy toes and back, keeping the elbows straight. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back. Keep pulling your belly in. Again, forward and back. Doing great. Just 3 more. Forward and back. Good. Last 2. Forward and back. This is your last one. Forward and back. Now we're going to exhale the hips up and the heels back into downward facing dog once again. Sending the seat back and up and the chest toward the thighs. Good. I'm going to go right into the vinyasa. Keeping that left foot down, you're going to exhale, step your right foot forward, toes in line with the fingers, and frame your right foot. Now, I'd like you to inhale, sweep your arms up, come up to a high lunge. Pull your belly in, draw your shoulders back and down your spine, and connect to your breath. Track the right knee in line with the right hip point and draw the right hip back. Breathe. Now, interlace your fingers, turn your palms up, plug your shoulders in. Let's move a little bit, left and right in the upper body there. Good, keep drawing the right hip back, press strongly into the ball of the back foot. Now inhale, keeping the hands interlaced. We're going to open up through the chest, draw the chin in slightly, lifting from your chest. Then we're going to exhale, pull the belly in, hinge and fold. Keep your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Inhale, open the right arm up, rotating your left rib cage to the right, looking up toward the ceiling. Keep the back foot squared. Now let's turn the right palm away from us, top of the hand to the small of the back or to your left outer hip. Draw the right inner elbow toward the left side of the room. Draw your right hip back and sink down. Good, another breath like this. Now inhale, reach the right arm up, pull the belly in, exhale the right hand to the inside of the right foot, traction the tricep to the inner knee. Notice I'm squaring my back foot. Now reaching my left arm up, I'm leaning on the inside of my right thigh. Turn the left palm away from you, top of the hand to the small of the back or to your right outer hip. Draw that left inner elbow toward the right side of the room. Breathe, feel like you're squeezing your inner thighs toward one another. Good, now inhale, the left arm rises. Exhale, both hands down to frame the front foot. Inhale, the right leg sweeps back to a plank. Now we're gonna exhale, rock forward onto the tippy toes. Knees can come down here behind the hips. Slow lower to Chaturanga. The shoulders are back, the elbows are in, the neck is long. We go parallel off the ground. Then inhale, thread the heart between the shoulders in your Cobra. Soften your elbows, draw the shoulders back. Those of you with a tight low back can widen your legs a little bit. Anchor the quads and the tops of the feet. Draw the shoulders back. And again, I apologize about the angle. A little bit of a lack of space here today for this kind of a practice, but I wanted to give you a flow. Pull the belly in. Now we're gonna exhale, tuck the toes. Hips are up and heels are back in a downward facing dog. Good, once again, sending your seat back and up. Draw the chest toward the thighs and allow the collarbones to broaden. Connect to your breath. Good, now we're gonna exhale and step the left foot forward, toes in line with the fingers. Draw the left hip back and the right hip forward. Now we're gonna inhale, sweep the arms up to a high lunge once again. Keep drawing the left hip back and the right hip forward and connect to your breath. So really sinking into the hips, tracking the left knee in line with the left hip point, pressing the right foot strongly into the earth. Interlace your fingers, turn the palms up, and let's move around a little bit left and right. Keep pulling your belly in. Good, now let's inhale, open up through the chest, drop the chin, lift the chest, not your chin. Good, then exhale, carefully hinge from your hips and fold. Right wrist underneath right shoulder. Inhale, the left arm rises. Rotating the right rib cage to the left. Draw the left hip back and down. Turn the left palm away from you, top of the hands to the small of the back or to your right outer hip. Breathe, inhale to elongate, exhale to twist. Keep that back foot squared. Good, now inhale, the left arm rises. Exhale, left hand to the inside of the left foot, traction the tricep to the inner knee, and inhale, the right arm rises. Noticing keeping my right foot squared. Turn the right palm away from you, top of the hand to the small of the back or to your left outer hip. Root down into the big toe side of the left foot, looking up. Breathe, connect to that deep, steady breath. Good, inhale, the right arm rises. Exhale, both hands down, frame the front foot. Inhale, left leg sweeps back to plank. Wrists underneath the shoulders, shoulders are back. Exhale, rock forward, tippy toes. Hug your inner elbows in, draw the shoulders back. You can keep the knees down or up in Chaturanga. 90-degree angle to the front of the elbows. Then inhale, thread the heart between the shoulders in your Cobra. Soften your elbows, lift your chest, hugging the inner elbows in, breathe. Pull the belly in. Remember, widen your legs as you need to accommodate a tight back. Then exhale, tuck your toes, hips are up and heels are back. Downward facing dog pose. Feet are hip width apart, hands are shoulder width apart. Seat is back and up, and the chest is toward the thighs. Good, now we're gonna inhale, lift up onto the balls of the feet, and I'd like you for today to transition by exhaling, stepping your feet forward. Feet hip width, toes in line with one another. And you can lift your hands up whenever you need to. I just happen to be able to walk forward. Inhale, spine halfway up, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Soften the backs of the knees and inhale, reverse swan dive to a standing back bend. Reaching your arms back, palms face one another, quads forward. Pull the belly in, exhale, hinge and fold. Hands on either side of your feet. Inhale, spine halfway up, hands to shins, shoulders are back, seat is back, belly is in, chest is forward. Exhale, fold. Let's go ahead and step the left leg back to low lunge. Then drop and ground the back heel, front heel, back heel alignment. Turn those back toes out about 45 degrees. We're gonna inhale, straighten out the right leg. Right hand can either be on a block to the outside of the right foot, or you can keep it down here. You can even come onto your right shin. I'm gonna start there, and then I'm gonna reach my left arm up, rotating my chest toward the left wall, So the right rib cage rotates left. I'm tucking my right seat underneath me, reaching my left arm up and lining up wrist to wrist here. Soften that right knee, lift your right toes up so you can't lock out the knee. So I want you to have 2 straight legs. Lengthen through both sides of the waist, hug that right rib cage in and elongate both sides of the waist. Good. Now exhale, bring both hands down to that right shin. Draw the shoulders back, lift your chest, press strongly into the ball of the back foot. Good. Keep lengthening your right buttock back. Now we're gonna exhale, bend that right knee, resting your chest on your thighs, on your thigh. Keep that back foot squared forward, turned out, front foot squared forward. Draw the shoulders back. Now we're gonna reach the arms back behind us and lift up a quarter of the way. Good, draw your hips back, just framing that hip, like you're squeezing your outer hips together. Keep bending the right knee, hinging deeply. Now we're gonna inhale, reach the arms up. Coming into your warrior one. Draw the right hip back and the left hip forward. Connect to your breath. Breathe. So perhaps this practice needs to be a little more advanced, right? You as a practitioner, because you can't see me from the sides. It's a little harder to get a sense. But front facing does provide a nice alignment kind of cue, right? I'm wrapping my right seat underneath me, tracking my right knee slightly to the right. Keep drawing your right hip back, left hip forward. Now we're going to inhale, straighten out that right leg again. Exhale, hinge. Go halfway, framing your front leg, or framing your front hip. Remember that you can lift your right toes up so you can't lock them out. Then we're going to exhale, bring the hands down, bending the right knee, come up onto the ball of the back foot, plant your palms, inhale, plank. Exhale, rock forward, tippy toes, slow lower to Chaturanga, knees up or down, shoulders are back, elbows are in, neck is long. Inhale, thread the heart between the shoulders in your Cobra. Draw the skull bone back, open up through the chest, collarbones broaden. Good, now exhale, tuck your toes, hips are up and heels are back. Downward facing dog. Sending your seat back and up. And draw the chest toward the thighs, allow the collarbones to broaden and connect to your breath. Breathe. Good, now we're gonna exhale, step the left foot forward. So we're gonna line the toes up with the fingers. You can assist your leg forward as you need to. Drop and ground that back heel, right? Heel, heel alignment. Now we're gonna straighten out that left leg, draw the left hip back, turn the right toes out about 45 degrees. You can keep your left hand to the outside of the left foot or go up onto the shin, lift the left toes up, soften that left knee. Now open your upper body up to the right. Wrapping that left seat underneath you, reaching your right arm up, lengthen both sides of the waist. So let that left rib cage dip a little bit to kind of give length to the top rib cage, that right rib cage. Drag your right heel away from you. Keep wrapping the left seat underneath you and connect to your breath. You can look up toward that right wrist. Good, now we're gonna exhale, take both hands to that left shin. Elongate the spine, lift your chest, draw that right heel away from you, pull your belly in. Now we're gonna go ahead and frame those hips. Breathe, lengthen your spine. Pull the belly in, now exhale, bend that left knee, stay here. Keep drawing that left hip back, the right hip forward. Really sink that right heel. Connect to your breath. Now lift up an inch or so. Keep pulling the belly in. Hug those inner thighs together. Now we're gonna inhale, come up to our warrior one. Draw that left hip back, the right hip forward, connect to your breath. Plug your shoulders in. That right leg is nice and straight. You're drawing the left hip back and tucking it down underneath you. So the left side is gonna go back, so the right side goes slightly forward, just to try to square ourselves out. Breathe. Good. Now we're gonna inhale, straighten out that left leg, come halfway down and frame the hips once again. Exhale. Find your breath. Now we're going to bring those hands down as we exhale. Bend the left knee. Plant the palms. Inhale, straighten out that inhale, sweep the left leg back to plank. Exhale, forward tippy toes, slow lower Chaturanga. Inhale, thread the heart between the shoulders in your Cobra. Draw the shoulders back, lift the chest and lengthen the spine. Feel like you drag the mat back to bring kind of almost an energy of the mat dragging toward the hips, or the hips dragging forward toward the front of the mat. Then exhale, tuck your toes, hips are up and heels are back. Downward facing dog pose. Let's go ahead and walk the dog a little bit, bending one knee, straightening the other. Breathe. Good. Now we're gonna sink both heels. And once again, inhale, lift up onto the balls of the feet, and exhale, take a slow walk to the top of the mat. Let's position our feet, big toes touch, heels are 1/4 of an inch apart, soften the knees. Now let's inhale the spine halfway up, hands to the shins. Good, exhale, fold. Soften the backs of the knees and inhale, reverse swan dive to a standing back bend, quads forward, tailbone forward, chest open, weight in the heels, knees soft. Now exhale, hinge from the hips and swan dive forward, hands on either side of your feet. Inhale, spine halfway up, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Good, let's set that right leg back to low lunge, then drop and ground the back heel, this time front heel, back arch alignment. We're gonna cartwheel the arms up to warrior two. So in warrior two, we're gonna go ahead and face to the right. So the hips and pelvis, the belly, the chest face to the right, the arms are out to T, and we want the arms in the same plane. We're bending the left knee deeply, tucking that left seat underneath us, so no duck butt, no sticking the booty out. Tuck the booty underneath you, pull the belly in, looking toward the front of the room. Drag that right heel away from you, connect to your breath. Once again, pull the abdominals in. Now inhale, just straighten out that left leg, let the right hip cant out toward the back wall, and then exhale, bend the left knee. Keep tucking the left seat underneath you. Again, inhale, straighten, exhale, bend. Good, one more time like this. Inhale, straighten, exhale, bend. Good. Now we're gonna exhale, take the left forearm to the left thigh. Inhale, the right arm rises, draw the left shoulder away from your ear, look up. Now reach your right arm up and over and rotate the left rib cage up toward the ceiling. Breathe. Draw that left shoulder away from your ear. Try to stack the shoulders. Hold here, connect to your breath. Good. Now we're gonna inhale, come up to warrior two once again. And then exhale, right arm down the right leg, left arm rises, exalted warrior. So you're fanning your left rib cage out, keep bending your left knee deeply. It's gonna try to straighten and track right. I want you to bend it and track it left. Feel a stretch along the left side of the body. Good, now inhale, warrior two. Pull the belly in, now exhale, cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot. Come onto the ball of the back foot, inhale, plank. Good, exhale, rock forward, tippy toes, knees up or down, slow lower chaturanga, shoulders back, elbows in, neck is long. Inhale, thread the heart between the shoulders in your cobra. Anchoring the quads down and the tops of the feet down. Then exhale, tuck your toes. Hips are up and heels are back, downward facing dog. Sending your seat back and up, drawing the chest toward the thighs, allow the collarbones to broaden and connect to your breath, breathe. Now we're gonna exhale, step the right foot forward, toes in line with the fingers, drop and ground the back heel. Let's do front heel, back arch alignment. Cartwheel the arms up, warrior two. So again, wrapping that right seat underneath you, tracking the right knee toward the pinky toe side of your right foot, opening your arms out to T, hips, pelvis, chest facing toward the left, and you're looking toward the front of the room. Keep bending your right knee, tracking it slightly to the right, wrap the right seat underneath you. Maybe the hips, pelvis go a little forward here. Lift your chest. Drop the shoulders. Good. Now exhale, come slightly forward, right forearm to the right thigh. Press into the right thigh, draw the right shoulder away from your ear, reaching your left arm up and over, looking up toward the ceiling, rotating your right rib cage to the left. Keep wrapping that right seat underneath you. Connect to your breath, feel the left side of your body lengthen. Good, then we inhale, come right back up to warrior two. So remember, we're gonna try to keep that knee bent. And of course, I remember that I forgot to have you bend and straighten that leg, so we'll catch it up at the end here. Now we're gonna inhale, take the left arm down the left leg, right arm rises, exalted warrior. Keep wrapping that right seat underneath you, fanning that right rib cage out. Drop the shoulders. Connect to your breath. Good, now inhale, warrior two. Now we're gonna go ahead on the next in-breath, straighten out the right leg. Exhale, bend the right knee, lift your chest. Inhale, straighten, cant that left hip out. Exhale, bend. One more time, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And again, it happens to all of us. Kind of forget what we did on one side or kind of switch it up a little bit. Just as long as we catch it up, I feel like I'm okay. Then exhale, cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot, come onto the ball of the back foot. Inhale, rock back, sweep your right leg back to plank. Exhale, tippy toes, slow lower chaturanga. Then inhale, thread the heart between the shoulders to Cobra. Rock your hips a little bit left, right here in Cobra. Now take your shoulders into it. Bring that right shoulder toward the left, look over your left shoulder, see your left foot. Then inhale, center. Exhale, bring left shoulder into it. Look over your right shoulder. See your right foot. Inhale, center. Now let's exhale, pull the belly in, tilt the tailbone between the thighs, look into your chest. Inhale, open up. Exhale, come all the way down. Hug those inner elbows in. Now drop the chin. We're gonna inhale, lift right back up into Cobra. Pull the belly in, maybe bend your knees. Try to reach the feet toward the back of the head. Drop the shoulders, lift the chest, maybe walk your hands in a little closer to your hips. Breathe. Good, then straighten out the legs. We're gonna shift back to a child's pose. Big toes touch, knees are a quarter of an inch, knees are apart. Bring your forehead toward to the mat. Draw the chin in towards your chest, lengthen your spine, draw the shoulders back. Take a stretch here. Good, now we're gonna inhale, come up to all fours. Come into your tabletop all fours shape. Knees under the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. Push away from gravity here. Spread your fingers out wide. Now we're gonna inhale, extend the right leg straight back, keeping your foot flexed. So your leg is up parallel to the ground. We're gonna inhale, open up that right hip, tuck the left seat underneath us, then inhale, open the right arm out to the right. So my right leg is up. I'm looking up toward the ceiling. I'm stacking my shoulders and stacking my hips. Those of you who can, bend your right knee, reach back, catch your right foot, and draw that right leg back, rotating your left rib cage up toward the ceiling. Connect to your breath. Good, now inhale, reach the right leg out, right arm up, flex the right foot. Good, then exhale, square the chest, square the hips, and bring the right knee down. Good, on the next one, right knee underneath the right hip. We're gonna inhale, extend the left leg straight back, flex the foot. Push away from gravity here. We're gonna inhale, open up that left hip, pull the belly in, start to rotate the upper body to the left as well. Reaching your left arm up. Remember, your left leg is up, you're flexing the left foot, tuck the right seat underneath you. Now those of you who can, exhale, bend the left knee, reach back, catch your left foot, rotating that right rib cage to the left, connect to your breath. Breathe. Good, then inhale, straighten out the left leg, reach your left arm up. Exhale, square the chest, square the hip, and bring that left knee down. Nice job, guys. Now spread your fingers out wide again, triceps spiraling in. We're gonna exhale, lift the hips up and draw the heels back and down into a downward facing dog pose once again. Sending the seat back and up and the chest toward the thighs, allow the collarbones to broaden, stretch into the back. Good. Now we're gonna root the left foot into the mat. We're gonna exhale, step the right foot forward. Toes are in line with the fingers. We're gonna drop and ground the back heel for a front heel back arch alignment. I'm gonna cartwheel the arms up to warrior two once again. Lifting your chest, pull the belly in, bend that right knee deeply. Draw the shoulders back. Good. Now from here, what I'd like you to do is exhale, interlace your fingers behind you, draw your knuckles back, lift your chest up, take your head in the direction that the chest is facing, so toward that left wall. Open up, drop the shoulders. One more breath. Good, now we're gonna inhale, bring the chest back up, open the arms out to T. Inhale, straighten out the right leg. Now turn your feet to face to the left. Look down, line your toes up with one another. Take your hands to your hips. Pull your belly in. Now you're gonna inhale, open your chest up. Draw the quads forward. Maybe take your hands toward the buttocks. Draw the chest up toward the ceiling, hinge back. Breathe. Now inhale, stack your spine. Then exhale, hands to the hips, hinge from the hips and fold. Lengthen your spine, bringing your head toward or to the mat. So you don't want to adjust your feet anymore. If like me, you can get your head to the ground, go ahead. If you can't, hands are going to go wrists underneath the shoulders. Shoulders are back. You're going to draw your buttocks back and your chest forward. And keep working on the length here. Feeling stretch along the outer calves. Those of you who can are going to walk your fingertips back in line with your toes. Keep your hands about shoulder width apart, and then you're just going to exhale, hinge from your hips and fold. Bring your head down to the ground. If you can go a little deeper, walk your fingertips back so you can see them. And you're going to feel your hands press down, hug your inner elbows in, shoulders are back, pull your belly in. In a more advanced class, I would cue you here to come up to tripod, but I'm going to keep you here. Instead, focus on getting those hips over the shoulders. Breathe. Maybe lift up onto the balls of the feet a little bit. And just be here. Good. Just a couple more breaths. Those of you who want to, maybe you take your hands to the outside of your feet, or maybe you interlace your fingers behind you and bring those arms up and over. Whatever feels good here. Keep lengthening your spine. Connect to your breath. And then those of us who have the hands interlaced, we're going to bring the hands up toward the ceiling, then exhale them to the small of the back, then release the hands down, wrists underneath the shoulders, inhale, spine halfway up. So we're going to keep the back foot, heel turned out, toes turned in. We're going to turn the right foot to face forward, bending the right knee. So I want you here to sink into your right hip and walk your hands to a diagonal toward that left corner of the mat and a little bit off the mat. So think think down dog hands here. Breathe. Keep that back heel down. Keep wrapping that right seat underneath you, sending your buttocks back. If you have a little more mobility, you can bring your elbows down. Connect to your breath. I know this can be tough. Lengthen your spine, shoulders are back, chest is forward. Find your breath, pull your belly in. Keep breathing. Try to keep your mind on your pose. I mean, I'm feeling it. Left inner thigh, right outer hip. It's been a while since I've done this pose. Then we're going to walk the hands to face center to the inside of the right foot. And I'd like you to inhale, straighten out your right leg. Draw the right hip back. Now frame your right foot. Lift your spine halfway up and hold here. Breathe. Remember, you can lift your right toes up, soften your right knee. Feel a bit of a stretch into that left outer calf. I've just been doing that for a little bit now. Stretch there. Draw the shoulders back. Now turn the back foot to face center, squaring your hips. Exhale, bend your right knee in a low lunge. Plant your palms. Inhale, sweep the right leg back to plank. Exhale, tippy toes to Chaturanga. Inhale, thread the heart between the shoulders in your Cobra. Rock a little bit left and right. So we're almost done with the kind of vinyasa portion of the practice. Pretty much going to wind it down rather quickly from there. Trying to get some final stretches here just to keep the practice short. It's a very off the cuff kind of impromptu practice. Just get a few poses in. And then exhale, tuck your toes, hips up, heels back, downward dog. My hope is to have a class for you tomorrow. A little more space, a little different structure. But for those of you who wanted to get in a little bit of a short practice with just some basic poses, hopefully this kind of address that. All right, so we're gonna root the right foot into the mat. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Drop and ground your back heel, front heel, back arch alignment. We're gonna cartwheel the arms up once again, warrior two. That's right, you're lifting your chest, drawing your shoulders down, arms are gonna open out. We're gonna bend that left knee deeply, tuck the left seat underneath you, connect to your breath, track that left knee out to the left, drag your right heel away from you, lift your chest. So I am gonna do some tutorial videos in terms of breaking down certain poses as time goes by. So for those of you who are a little newer to the practice, you'll get a better sense of that. For right now, a lot of this is just trying to keep, those of you guys who've been practicing with me for, some of you over a decade, just kind of going in your practice while we're here in this, kind of COVID-19 era. But again, follow this channel. I'll be adding more stuff, yoga, Pilates, bar, all kinds of things. Now we're gonna exhale, sweep the arms back, interlace your fingers, lift your chest, turn your head to face in the direction of your chest, and just start to open up. Breathe, lengthen your spine, connect to your breath. Good, then inhale, lift your chest up, open the arms out to T again, straighten out that left leg. I'm gonna turn the toes now, facing to the right. See that the toes line up with one another. Pull your belly in, hands to your hips, maybe hands to the buttocks. We're gonna open up through the chest. Draw those quads forward, open up, breathe, breathe, breathe. Get your back bend, elbows in. Then inhale, stack your spine. Exhaling, hinging from the hips and folding. Placing your wrists underneath your shoulders. Draw the seat back, chest forward, lengthen. Those of you who have a little more mobility, walk your fingertips back in line with the toes, head down to the ground without moving the feet around. Breathe. And those of you who can, maybe come a little deeper into the pose. Connect to your breath here. Keep trying to get the hips over the shoulders. Keep lengthening your spine. Now maybe interlace your fingers behind you, draw your knuckles back. Connect to your breath. Draw the shoulders back, keep sending the seat up, hips over the shoulders, breathe. Getting into those outer calves a bit. Finding your breath. You can always release the hands and go out to the outer edges of the legs if that feels good for you. Whatever works. Okay, then I'm going to exhale, take my hands down to the small of the back. Slide the hands down. I'm going to lift my spine halfway up. Inhale, draw the buttocks back. Keep the right foot as is with the heel turned out, toes turned in. Now we're just going to turn the left foot forward, toes turned out. We're going to bend that left knee. Now we're going to walk the hands to the right corner of the mat. Think downward facing dog hands. Wrap that left seat underneath you, connect to your breath. And some of you may be able to bring your elbows, forearms down. Keep wrapping that left seat underneath you. Right foot is as it was before. You're going to make sure that you avoid shifting your weight too far forward or too far back. Find your balance. Breathe. Lengthen your spine, soften your chest. Feeling this work in the right inner thigh and the left external hip getting stretched. Okay, then we're going to walk the hands, fingertips face in line with the left toes. Then we're going to go ahead, straighten out that left leg, frame the front foot, keep the back heel as is. Wrap that left seat underneath you, lift your spine halfway up, inhale. Find your breath. Good, now we're going to come up onto the ball of the back foot. Exhale, bend the left knee coming into low lunge. Plant your palms. Inhale, plank. Exhale, rock forward, tippy toes, slow lower chaturanga. Inhale, thread the heart between the shoulders, cobra. And then exhale, come back to child's pose. Bring the big toes together, knees apart, forehead toward or to the mat. Draw the shoulders back and find your breath here. Breathe, inhale, and exhale. And we're going to go ahead, come up to all fours. I'm going to ask you to sit cross-legged here for a moment, taking a seat. If you have a block and you feel that you need a block to sit down, feel free to take it. So I'd like us to do here is in a seated position. Root your sits bones into the mat. Rest your hands on your lap for a moment. Sit up tall, pull the abdominals in. Draw the shoulders back. Now let's exhale. Take the right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Left arm is behind you. And take a twist. So again, I'm going in, not mirroring you guys in this class. So we're going to take that right hand to the outside of the left thigh. If you've done the opposite, that's fine. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen. Exhale, add a little twist. Good, we're going to do that again. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, twist. Good, now inhale, come back to center. And we're going to exhale, rotate the upper body to the right. Left arm to the outside of the right thigh. Right arm is behind you. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, add a twist. And another breath like this. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Good, on the next in-breath, return to center. Drop the shoulders. Take a moment here. So I want you to switch the cross of your legs, opposite leg in front or on top. So kind of, again, off the cuff class, kind of maybe what I would do, not necessarily a full class that I would lead, but something to give you a sense of what I would do if I were feeling like I needed a little bit of practice, but I didn't want to do a full class myself. So I'm gonna have you, or state of the rules, right? The so-called rules. I'm gonna have you rock back and rock forward here. Just rest your hands, pull your belly in, relax the shoulders, rocking back and forth. So a lot of this time that I haven't been teaching, it's been about 2 weeks I haven't been doing classes in person because of this coronavirus thing. You know, it's been a lot of just like reconnecting to my own practice and really figuring out what to do, how to stay connected to you guys. And I encourage you guys to pass these videos along. As I get more used to filming in the medium, you know, they're gonna get more, tighter like my typical classes usually are. But for me, it's also been a lot of exploration, just kind of feeling into my body again in ways that maybe I've kind of lost as a teacher. And then hands to your shins, I'd like you, or knees. I'd like you to go ahead and lean a little bit to the right with your head, but fan the left rib cage out to the left. A little bit of side bend, feeling a little bit of work here on the right side, a little bit of stretch on the left. Good, then inhale, return to center, drop that head to the left. Let the right rib cage fan out, feel a little bit of work on the left side here. Good, inhale, return to center. Now what I'd like you to do is draw your shoulders back. We're gonna go ahead, bring the soles of the feet to the mat, hip width in parallel. We're gonna take the hands behind us. I want you to turn your fingertips to face towards you. Wrists are underneath your shoulders. Hug your inner elbows in. Step into your feet, lift your hips up and go into like a little tabletop shape here. You can look straight toward the front of the room. You can look up toward the ceiling or let your head hang. Keep sending the shins forward, knees forward, heels towards you. Lift the hips up. Imagine a tray is on your hips. And you want to keep that tray from spilling anything that is holding. Pull your belly in, connect to your breath, press into the ground. Then exhale, bring your hips down. Sit up nice and tall, wrap your arms around your shins. Sit up tall, draw the thighs in towards you, lift your feet up off the ground, and then let's exhale, just roll back into a ball. Bring the feet down on the mat. Open the arms out to T. Bring your legs into tabletop. And let's release the knees to the left and the head to the right, taking your left arm to the outside of the right thigh. And just take a little stretch here. Lengthen your right buttock away from you. Connect to your breath. Breathe. Loosen your left arm out to T. Inhale, nose and knees to center. Let's release the knees to the right and the head to the left as I have a piece of furniture in my way. Right arm to the outside of the left thigh. Lengthen your left buttock away. Keep both shoulders down. Good, opening the right arm out to T. Inhale, nose and knees to center. Let's exhale, curl the upper body up. Wrap the arms around the hamstrings or shins. Give yourselves a little squeeze. Then exhale, bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Straighten your legs out. And take a few moments here in Shavasana. Letting the legs go to the corners of the mat. Releasing your arms on either side of your hips. And relax your shoulders. Find your breath. Breathe. Nice relaxed breath. Usually Ujjayi releases throughout the practice, and by the end of the practice we're pretty much back in a very calm, steady breath. And I want you to be here for another 10-15 seconds or so. Just kind of wanted to keep this class a little shorter. Again, very just kind of off the cuff, getting in a few basic poses. Good, now let's bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Draw the knees in toward the chest. Wrap your arms around your hamstrings or shins. Give yourselves a little squeeze. Curl your upper body up. And I'm going to go ahead and ask you to inhale, roll up to a cross-legged seat. So let's take a moment here. Rest your hands on your lap. Drop the chin towards your chest. Sit up tall. Good. Bring the palms together in prayer at the center of the chest. Take a moment to practice gratitude. Grateful for someone and something today. Grateful for each and every one of you. Please come back to the channel. Please continue to visit, share with others, spread the word. I'm going to continue to grow the practice. I'm going to think inspired to film a little bit, maybe a 5-10 minute class about mountain pose and tree pose if you'd like to join me a little bit later. I hope you enjoy. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. It was great to practice with you. Thank you. Namaste.